And so for Kamala Harris to try to say that my sole focus on the people of Florida is somehow selfish is delusional. She has no role in this.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Kamala Harris attempting to call Florida Governor Ron DeSantis selfish for not taking the phone calls right now during Hurricane Milton. Now, as you know, Hurricane Milton is in the Gulf Coast. It's coming to Florida. It's going to make landfall with Tampa by Wednesday. I'm talking about the eye of the storm will be in Tampa by Wednesday. So right now, I'm sure there's outer bands of rain and wind and localized flooding. Kamala is saying, hey, you're not taking my phone call. You're selfish. DeSantis is like, what do you mean? I got to focus on my people in my state. I have to focus on getting the necessary aid. I got to talk to people that matter, like FEMA, your boss, the big guy, Joe Biden. I got to talk to them to get this effort underway. And I've not heard from you from any of the other Florida storms that have happened over the past 3.5 to 4 years. So what are you talking about, Kamala? Now, before I go any further, we got to get into a lot, because not only did DeSantis destroy Kamala here, so did her boss, Joe Biden, and Sunny Hostin from The View. They all got on her for this. Now, first things first, let's get to what Kamala said. Then we're going to get to all the reactions and responses. And of course, everything will be in the description box. If you're on IG, visit that link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
President, Governor DeSantis, NBC is reporting Governor DeSantis is ignoring your calls on hurricanes, resources, and help. How does that hurt the situation here?
You know, moments of crisis, if nothing else, should really be the moment that anyone who calls themselves a leader says they're going to put politics aside and put the people first. People are in desperate need of support right now, and playing political games with this moment in these crisis situations, these are the height of emergency situations, is just utterly irresponsible, and it is selfish, and it is about political gamesmanship instead of doing the job that you took an oath to do, which is to put the people first.
The people first? Like, how are you going to help with anything? You're not the president. You're not the big dog here. He needs to focus on the people of the state. So are you a Florida resident? I don't understand. Like, I don't really get what's going on. But that's her take on DeSantis not answering the phone call. Now, here's DeSantis responding. Check it out.
And we've been laser focused on leveraging all resources available, including from the federal government. And I've been in touch with both FEMA and the president, as well as marshaling all our state agencies and working to support our local communities. And so for Kamala Harris to try to say that my sole focus on the people of Florida is somehow selfish is delusional. She has no role in this. In fact, she's been vice president for 3.5 years. I've dealt with a number of storms under this administration. She has never contributed anything to any of these efforts. And so what I think is selfish is her trying to blunder into this. No. And here's the thing. She has no role. No, she has no role in this process.
Now, there was a little bit of crosstalk, but the question was, has she ever caught before? He says no, because this ain't the first time a hurricane has hit Florida in the past 3.5 to 4 years.
I'm in contact with the president of the United States. I'm in contact with FEMA director. I'm obviously managing all our state agencies. We're supporting all our local government. And I will say this. I've had storms under both President Trump and President Biden, and I've worked well with both of them. She's the first one who's trying to politicize the storm, and she's doing that just because of her campaign. She's trying to get some type of an edge. She knows she's doing poorly, and so she's playing these political games. I don't have time for political games. I've got people whose lives are on the line. I've got people whose homes and their possessions are on the line, and we are focused 100% on that mission. I'm not worried about playing her political games. And so she is being selfish by trying to blunder into this when we're working just fine.
Very well said. I couldn't have said it better myself, Ron DeSantis. That was fantastic. Now, let's go to The View. This is going to be another reaction and all this, a lot of back and forth. let's get into what she said here. Now, this is going to get really crazy because she's going to talk on The View about a few things. I won't show all of it, just a couple things. Then you're going to see Sunny Hostin throw her under the bus after it's all said and done. Check it out.
Now, he said this morning, you've never called regarding any of the storms Florida has had since you've been vice president until apparently now, and called it political. What's your response to that?
I got to pause a little bit for fair use because The View will give you a copyright.
Well, first of all, I have called and talked with, in the course of this crisis, this most recent crisis, Democrat and Republican governors. Called, taken the call, answered the call, had a conversation.
This most recent crisis, but the question, again, you don't like answering questions. The question was, why have you not called for any of the other hurricanes? Why just now? Because you're running for president? Exactly what he said. You're politicizing it because of your campaign. That's all that it is. Keep it all the way real.
So, obviously, this is not an issue that is about partisanship or politics for certain leaders, but maybe is for others. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's that. Now let's keep on moving here. Let's keep on moving. Joe Biden got in the mix. Yeah, he threw under the bus too. He is going to say how well that he got along with DeSantis. Check it out.
Mr. President, the governor of Florida has been cooperative. He said he's gotten all that he needs. I talked to him again yesterday, and I said, I said, no, you're doing a great job. It's all being done well. We thank you for it. And I literally gave my personal phone number to call. So I don't know. There was a rough start in some places, but every governor from Florida to North Carolina has been fully cooperative and supportive and acknowledged what this team is doing. And they're doing an incredible job. But we got a lot more to do.
So he's saying, hey, the governor is great. He's fantastic. He's not trying to play political games. He's very cooperative. He does what needs to be done. This is in a direct contradiction to what Kamala Harris just said on The View, isn't it? And it goes against what she said on the tarmac, which is where she loves to answer a couple of questions here and there. Now, this was the point where she got ladies of The View to turn against her because the question was, hey, what will you do differently? What's the biggest difference between you and the Joe Biden presidency? Check this out.
You think would be the biggest specific difference between your presidency and a Biden presidency?
A Biden-see. I got to pause. That's the only reason why I said the Biden-see part, because, fair use again. Let's keep on going.
Well, we're obviously two different people, and we have a lot of shared life experiences. For example, the way we feel about our family and our parents and so on. But we're also different people, and I will bring those sensibilities to how I lead.
What do you
Okie dokie. So it's not anything specific, which was the question. Now, she asked her again. I'm not sure if this was before or after what we just saw, but it's another question along the same lines to get down to the core, and she's not really getting much. Now, here's going to be the question and then the response after on CNN from Sunny.
done something differently than President Biden
Would you have done something differently than President Biden
in the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
Will you do something differently? Would you have done something different if you could have, changed? Nah, I don't really see anything that comes to mind. I'll pretty much be the same as him.
Molly, what do you make of that?
I'm surprised, frankly, that she doesn't have more to say about this, given that she and her campaign know that this is one of the main questions that voters have about her. And one of the main things she's been trying to establish as part of her candidacy is the idea that she would represent a break from the past 4 years, and to not be able to come up with something to say in that moment. She continues to not be particularly nimble on her feet in a lot of these interviews, and this is a very obvious question that gave her an opportunity, frankly, to differentiate herself in a way that would have made news, that would have answered, I think, the curiosity of a lot of voters who.
Now, I'm sorry, this is not Sunny Hostin giving the response, but whoever this is has a lot of sense. I'd rather have her on The View than Sunny Hostin from what I'm seeing so far. Let's keep on going.
Want to know how she would lead differently, and she's not very specific in laying that out, and she can't point to a decision she would have made differently, which, in an electorate that thinks that doesn't like the way this administration has led and that doesn't like the track that the country is on, that may not be a very satisfactory answer.
It is not a satisfactory answer. So there we go. Kamala, you are doing very poorly. Everybody's getting on you. You got CNN getting on you. You got Joe Biden not supporting you, because in that moment when he's asked about that, and there's the issue with Kamala going on between her and DeSantis, he should have Kamala's back. But it's like, nah, he's doing a great job. I love DeSantis. He's very cooperative. It's never a problem with any governor. She's the only one with the problem. She's the only one with the issue. She's the only one that, quite frankly, is going to need a miracle for her to be able to get across the finish line, because there's not a lot of support from who she needs it from. But as I close, I want to say this. Shout out to DeSantis. Hey, man, you got to focus on your people, your state, your constituency. You don't got time to be trying to get caught up in campaign ads and stuff like this for Kamala Harris's failing and faltering campaign. You don't got time for that. Focus on what needs to be focused on. Same thing, Creepy Joe. You about to be pretty much out of here. You're just kind of riding it out, living your last few days. Everybody else pretty much doing the same thing until we get the Orange Man back in office in 2024, inaugurated 2025 next year. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your take on this whole drama between Kamala and DeSantis, a thing that she started that nobody is really trying to participate in other than her? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. I'm kind of like, not surprised, but flabbergasted that she would do that, because where's your team? Where's anybody who would tell you, hey, Kamala, that's not a very good idea to go out there and attack Ron DeSantis when you got this Category 5 hurricane about to hit Tampa and cause a lot of damage and potential, hopefully not, but lots of life could happen here in a grand scale. You worried about some of the most petty high school girl type stuff. Who cares? Nobody. But you know what? I'll tell you who do care. I'll tell you who does care as I close. The electorate, people that are not going to vote for you, that may have done so until they saw how you behave, until they saw your lack of policy, until they saw how you're going to be just the same as President Joe Biden. They care. I'll tell you what. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.